Johnny's off to his black belt class this morning. Help get him ready for his 2nd degree. We were up at 9, out the door at 9:45. Let's go. It's like it's a school day. Not. So, while Dawn gets her out just a little farther, you can see the dogwood tree over here lost most of its blooms yesterday. It's a brisk 50-something out here this morning. Supposed to only get up into the low 60s today, and it's windy. Kind of feels like a fall day. I thought I was done wearing heavier clothes, but alas, today is sort of a heavier clothes day. Thank you, Donnie. It keeps me on time and running smooth. Good morning, Ruby. Do your very best, bud.
All right.
I love you. See you in a little bit.
Okay. Love you.
So this is just black belt candidates, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, anybody that is working towards getting their black belt, and they'll just be running them through forms and kicking techniques and the things that they need to do to pass. Hey, bud.
Hey, Mom.
You're just in time to help me try to catch Latius on, well, I've got him going here on your account and 3 others. Did a raid at Starbucks with Daniel and Victoria. Well, Don's account just went to level 26. Johnny evolved a scissor for Ruby's account. So we're making some good progress here. Only Johnny caught the Latius. The other 3 accounts, no dice. It's springtime and it's Saturday here at the Home Depot, and boy, is there a crowd of people out buying stuff. Yeah, the online store wasn't as productive as they had hoped, and they have expanded the store now to have more room over here at Little Angel. That looks good, but you're way back here.
So this is a Ferrari with a clamshell.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool, bud. You're so helpful. Thanks, bud.
You're welcome.
You're at Guardian Angel. Johnny has just got his shiny shuckle. Don't lose it. I had a good time in town with Johnny. We did Guardian Angel and went down Main Street and played Pokemon, and he got his Taekwondo in, and I got a frosted coffee at Chick-fil-A. Yeah, I'm just a little envious of his shiny shuckle, but I did catch a shiny Murkrow, although I already had one. Yeah, I really want a shiny bunny, and a shiny shuckle would be nice too. I don't know what's going on the rest of the day. Possibly not much. I think we have some rain showers moving back through, but nothing dangerous, severe today. So we'll see. Hey, Cray. Hi, honey. Hi, sweetheart. Johnny's in on his computer. Don's out for his run. I've got a corned beef brisket in the oven, and I am headed out to look for a shiny bunny and listen to my Audible book. Hi, Gray. I'm home now, and Don's blowing the driveway. He's back from his run. I didn't catch any shinies, and it rained on us just a little, but not too much. Besides the fact that it looks better, the main reason why we spend so much time doing this is to keep the stuff out of the kitchen and out of the car and out of the garage. Well, you guys know Don. He's been up to watching more YouTube videos today, and not just like the kids do for gaming and stuff, but for real learning and education. And when he talks my ear off, I get him to talk your ear off.
It's just the way it is. Yep, so like Marianne said, I was watched a couple more videos on new nuclear reactors, new technology stuff. And that led me to one in one of those YouTubes. They mentioned the plant in Georgia, the 2 nuclear power plants that Vogtle 3 and 4, which are being added to an existing nuclear site near Waynesboro, Georgia. I missed it, or it wasn't reported in the newspaper, but on March 22nd, Rick Perry, who's the head of the Department of Energy, he's the Secretary of Energy for the Trump administration, announced loan guarantees of approximately $3.7 billion to complete the project, to bring the project to completion. Along with that $3.7 billion, they're going to hire another 1,500 workers to go along with the 7,500 who are currently on site. So there'll be 9,000 construction jobs there in Georgia. So far, the government has guaranteed $12 billion loan guarantees to complete this project or do this project. Based on what I've been reading, apparently now it's 100% over the initial. It's costing twice as much as originally expected, and they expect it to the first unit Vogel 3 to go on line in 2021 commercially, and then Vogel 4 probably 2 years after that. So, you know, it's not advanced nuclear technology. It's the only nuclear power plant under construction in the United States. This site, it's using the AP1000, which is a Gen 3 type reactor. It is somewhat safer than the existing nuclear ones, but it's not the advanced technology. At the same time of that, I came across a book I'm going to recommend. If you want to like to read versus sit around read YouTube's, it's only $1.99 on Kindle. The paperback's $25, so you probably don't want to buy the paperback, but the Kindle book's only $1.99, and it was just updated in March of 2019. The name of the book is Unintended Consequences, and the author is George Erickson, Erickson. And this book is, written for the layman. Your mom, your son, your daughter, your aunt, your uncle, your neighbor, your doctor could read it. It's one of those books that sort of explains it, where we are and what solutions might work and what solutions could work and which ones probably won't work. So I haven't just got it today, but I could already tell it does seem to be a book that probably is worth reading. It's certainly worth $1.99. And the other thing that came up has been kind of a little hot topic. It came up last week when Mary and I went up to the Presbyterian Church in Wake Forest to meet with Stu and
Dean
to speak to the church members about electric cars. And one of them had a question about the road tax, that since electric cars don't buy gasoline, then they're not contributing to the highways, construction of highways, construction and maintenance of highways, because in North Carolina there is a 36.2 cents North Carolina state tax on each gallon of gasoline. There's also an 18-cent tax, federal tax. So the total combined state and federal tax on a gallon of gas in North Carolina is about 53 cents. Well, at the time, some discussion, and it was brought up that there is a fee, an annual fee that electric car owners must pay. Well, Mary and I pay it. It's $130. Well, in the newspaper last week, specifically April 10th, it came out that they're thinking about raising that fee. And they're thinking about raising that fee quite significantly. They're thinking about going up to either $230 or as high as $275 a year for that. And so just doing some quick math, the current $130 fee that we pay is the equivalent of buying 359 gallons of gasoline. And if you figure, well, a gallon of gasoline, you get 25 miles per gallon. So that's about the equivalent of 8,978 miles a year. Well, Marion and I are driving, or Ruby is in North Carolina, because remember, Ruby's never been outside the state of North Carolina. Ruby's got almost 50,000 miles on it in less than 2 years, so we're doing right at 25,000. So the $130 fee is not really an issue because we're easily driving that far. Although I would say electric vehicles are kind of getting a bum rap. The weight of the vehicle, and it's not a 5,500 pound vehicle that damages the highway. It's the 55,000 pound vehicles, the heavy trucks, are what really damages the highway. But if they raise the fee to $230, you'd have to drive 15,884 miles in a year to break even. And remember, the national average is 14,376. So the $230 a year is already over the national average. And again, this is assuming 25 miles per gallon. And of course, if it goes to $275 a year, that means you'd have to drive right at 19,000 miles a year, which I guess in the case of Marianne and I, since we continue to drive 25,000 miles a year, or expect to, maybe that's sort of fair. We're not really complaining about the fee, but this fee is going to be across the board. It doesn't matter. In the case of Sapphire, when we had Sapphire, I wasn't driving it that much. I don't drive my little Scion probably more than 7,000, 8,000 miles a year. So the $130 fee would be pretty much spot on, but any of these new increases would be more. So I guess this brings up the whole topic that the old-fashioned way of collecting highway revenue by putting a tax on a gallon of gasoline is one of the things that's going to have to change, or is going to be impacted by the switch to sustainable transportation. We're going to have to rethink what that is. I've heard this topic brought up before, and I haven't heard anybody with a really good way of how this is going to work yet. I also need to point out that this new tax, the $130 current tax, does not apply to hybrid vehicles, but this new $230 to $275 tax is going to apply to hybrid vehicles. So basically, any vehicle gets fuel efficient, isn't buying very much gasoline, so the state feels like they're not getting compensated for the maintenance to the highways that they're using. Anyway, I haven't heard a good one, but this is going to be one of those topics that's going to get talked about more and more. I believe that as EV adoption increases, one of the things that people won't talk about, or you won't hear much about, is the fact that we're cutting the peak demand for oil as we drive our car. And in some respects, we're actually keeping oil prices down. Now, granted, at the very small penetrations of EVs today, it's probably isn't significant affecting the price of oil. But when we start getting up to 5% of the EVs in the country, I think that 5% will start being noticeable. And certainly by the time we get to a 10% penetration of electric vehicles, that will be impacting the price of gas, and the price of gas will be going down because demand's going to drop. And so, we'll see who's right, and we'll look forward to seeing how politicians tackle the thorny issue of taxes. And of course, all you got to do is mix taxes with climate change and green energy or any greeny stuff, and you immediately are going to get everybody's going to line up on their side. So I expect this to be a thorny issue.
I reminded Don about this really interesting anecdote he read in the newspaper, guest letter to the editor.
Right, because this article about the proposed increase in the electric vehicle and hybrid vehicle registration fee was printed in the paper, several people wrote in to the letters to the editor. So I've seen several letters over the last few days. One of the letters, is too high, and one of them, it's not fair. But one of the articles was from a person who drove a gas, some type of internal combustion truck, and he said he appreciated electric vehicle drivers, and he appreciated that they were helping keep gas prices down. And he really appreciated the fact that they weren't pulling into the service station, getting in his way. So I appreciated him, and I'm thanking him for being a positive attitude towards the electric vehicle.
Even if it's not for him.
Even if it's not for him.
It's a nice feast, corned beef brisket and little potatoes with olive oil and basil.